Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Akil and welcome back to another in-depth review. As promised guys, I'll be talking about the Harry Potter films. We are already halfway into the series. This is the fifth film guys, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This movie came out back in 2007 and my god guys, this movie is so good. It really is. When it comes to Harry Potter movies, you want it to be not only just really good, but also really fun and exciting. And Order of Phoenix is that. It's very fast paced. It's very in the moment, if you know what I mean. There are some slow moving moments, but I'll talk about that a bit later. But I have to say that this is a very well directed and good looking movie. It's a beautiful film at times to see. The cinematography is great, the lighting is great. It's a very colorful, like not colorful, but very like lighted up film. It's not like the next film, which I'll talk about next month in September, Half-Blood Prince. That's totally different. But anyway, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is directed by David Yates, and this was actually the first film and the only Harry Potter film not to be written by Steve Kloves. It was written by Michael Goldenberg, I believe, something like that. Yeah, but anyway, this film is the first film to be directed by David Yates, and my god, guys, he is so good at directing. In this movie, we have Harry, Ron, and Hermione. They are in their fifth year, and there's also the return of Voldemort. After the events of the last film, this started a trend actually in the Harry Potter franchise of not things getting darker, obviously, but of things picking up where the last film left off. Goblet of Fire didn't really do that for like Prisoner of Azkaban. Only like small hints, like Sirius Black had a cameo in it, but that's really it. In this film, it ties heavily at times to Goblet of Fire. So if you have not seen Goblet of Fire, you should definitely watch that and then go watch this movie. It really works if you watch it, the whole franchise back to back. That's why binging the franchise would actually be really good. And yeah, but anyway, this movie is about, like I said, Voldemort returning. We have also Dolores Jane Umbridge. She's such a bad teacher in terms of like, she puts all these rules. We always have this one teacher that we don't like, right, guys? Now, teachers obviously one of the best people in the world, and I'm serious, guys. Say what you will about how they are and all that type of stuff, maybe how they look, I don't know, but anyway. And I'm saying this out loud right now. To all you teachers out there, mad respect, because you guys are doing your jobs. And all you guys are doing is just teaching kids to do the right things in life, but also to learn math, English, science, history, geography, whatever, all that type of stuff. And in this movie, the teacher that they got, the head teacher the main teacher for Defense Against the Dark Arts, is just so bad. No one likes her. And like I said, we have that one teacher that we don't like, but deep down we know they're doing a good job. And she thinks that she's doing a good job, but really she isn't. And the actress that plays her, she did a great job in the movie and all that. And yeah. But really, she sets all these rules and it's like, why? Like, what are you doing? What's your purpose here? And she's so annoying. She makes like these very like weird noises at times. It's like, oh. But that's beside the point. She's worse than Voldemort, and you thought Voldemort was bad. Which, by the way, Ralph Fiennes, man, as Voldemort, he's amazing in this movie. He really is amazing in this movie because whenever he's on screen, you're like, this guy, I feel his presence. He was already great in Goblet of Fire, but in this film, particularly towards the last act, and I'll talk about that a bit later, but the movie really focuses on Harry becoming like Voldemort at times. And it's like, what's happening to me? That's what he even says to Dumbledore. And it's crazy because Harry lashes out at times. He's like, even to Sirius Black, which by the way, Harry and Sirius's relationship in this movie is so sweet. It's so beautiful. It's so well done. And then we obviously know what happens at the end of this movie. Now, because it's an in-depth review, I obviously have to talk about spoilers. Cedric died in the last movie. We all knew that. But in this movie, Sirius died. And when Sirius died, you're like, oh no. This is when things are getting real now. Okay, people are dying. This is, wow, okay. And this really set the tone for what the other movies were going to be about. Harry really wanting to take down Voldemort even more. But Sirius dying was like, wow. So he's all alone now. He's the only family he's got left. He even says that to Ron and Hermione, which, by the way, kind of feels sidelined at times in this movie. I'm not going to lie. But this movie is a real character study at Harry at times. Like, you really see that he's really, like, losing it at times. Like, he's getting mad. He's lashing out at people for the smallest things, and it's just crazy. You can really see that Voldemort is messing with his mind, and I love that about this movie. They took a risk. They made the hero of the story kind of feel like an anti-hero at times, if you know what I mean. Like, at one point, it was like, oh no, is he gonna kill Bellatrix or not? And again, I'll talk about that later, but still, they made Harry such a great character in this movie. Well, he already was a great character overall, but in this movie, he became more darker, more mature. It's like, wow, I'm feeling it now. I'm really feeling it, you know? It's like, what would you do if you're 15 and you saw someone dying right in front of your own eyes? How would you react? Like, Harry is serious PTSD. By the way, Cho Chang in this movie, say what you will about her character and what she does and how she goes about doing things in this movie. The kiss was meant to happen, alright? Because, yes, I know, Harry and Ginny, and I'll talk about Harry and Ginny a bit later on as well. There's actually quite a few things I want to talk about in Order the Phoenix, but in terms of Harry and Cho kissing, that scene, if that never happened, we would actually not have, you know, some moments of the trio talking about Harry's kiss and all that type of stuff, but we would also not have the scene where Harry, like, just feels like Cho betrayed him, because Cho was forced to dob, or in other words, tell where Dumbledore's Secret Society or the Order of the Phoenix or, you know, Harry's army, you know, was training in the school. It was really cool, by the way. The whole training sequence, the music's really, really cool. And the score by Nicholas Hooper, I believe. Is that the guy who does the score? Yeah, his music is great. I loved it. No. Now, in terms of going by every scene in this movie, the movie opens up obviously with, of course, callbacks to the last film and all that type of stuff, but it opens up in a very different way. It shows Harry and Dudley running away from this kind of like dark storm that's about to come, and all of a sudden, boom, the Dementors come and attack them. That was like, wow. If you had never seen if you had seen all the Harry Potter movies before that, you're like, okay, magic only happens in the magical world, like, and well, obviously it does, and the Dementors will only come in their world and all that, but like, to see a Dementor in the real world was like, okay, this is very different. This is kind of scary, actually. Okay. And then obviously Harry fights them off and all that. Dudley gets all messed up. Obviously Uncle Vernon blames Harry and all type of stuff. And Harry gets expelled, but then he has to go on trial. And I gotta tell you what, the Ministry of Magic in this movie, they did such a good job designing it. Stuart Craig, you are a genius. You are probably one of the best production designers ever, like, in film. Like, the way they crafted the world of the Ministry of Magic, it's really, really cool. I really like that. And the music also, it's very cool. I also like how they go into this phone booth. Like, Arthur Weasley takes Harry into this phone booth and just goes down and all that. And it's really, really cool. I like that. And it's great to see Harry on trial. It's like giving a new perspective on the storyline. And then Dumbledore just walks in casually and just says out his full name and all that. It's really cool. It's like, oh, okay, that's what Dumbledore's name actually is. Okay. And we also get introduced to Umbridge in that scene. Cornelius Fudge denies that Voldemort is back. There's actually quite a lot that happens in that scene without people noticing it and all that type of stuff. So yeah, but then obviously after that, Harry goes to Hogwarts and all that. But before he does, there's this one scene that's like, wait, what's happening? And he envisions Voldemort right in front of him. And you're like, is this real? And then you realize it's not. And then you notice how Harry's moving his neck. Immediately once they, like right after that scene, they cut to Harry moving his neck a bit weirdly. It's like, whoa, okay. Is he becoming like Voldemort? Because Voldemort does the neck thing too. And it's crazy. Like I said, they really did a good job of Harry kind of feeling like Voldemort in this movie. And I like that. This movie has some great moments of just Harry like really becoming Voldemort. Like, one time he's like, look at me. He shouts at Dumbledore. He says, look at me. Like, not in that way, obviously, but you know how it is. Like, when Harry shouts at Dumbledore, it's like, wow, this guy is messed up, man. He really is messed up. Now, talking about Harry and Ginny. Well, that doesn't make sense, talking about Harry and Ginny. Now, I'm going to talk about Harry and Ginny in this movie. Yeah, now that makes sense. I'm sorry, guys, what that was just done. But anyway, Harry and Ginny in this movie, you can see that Ginny is the one getting jealous. There are two shots in this movie. You're like, wait, why are they lingering on Ginny for a few seconds? It's like, oh, I get it now. They're setting it up very well. So in that way, it kind of feels like they're not shoehorning it, and I like that. Like when Hermione tells Harry that she noticed that Harry couldn't stop staring at or looking at Cho, whatever. They show Ginny and her face just changes. Like, oh no, you can clearly tell that she's jealous. There's also this one part when Hermione knows and Ron doesn't know that Harry's gonna stay back behind and talk to Cho and all type of stuff. And then the camera lingers on Ginny for a bit. Like you see her face and then she walks off. It's like she feels sad. She feels jealous. This is jealousy, guys, done beautifully. In just 2 shots, we know exactly how she feels. There is no dialogue and it's perfectly done. And I love that Bonnie Wright captured Ginny's emotions so well in those 2 scenes, and she did such a great job with it. So yeah, now, let's talk about the action in this movie, because there's actually quite a bit. For example, the flying sequence, oh my god, that's amazing. Them flying through London and all type of stuff, that is London, right? Yeah. That's really cool. I love the music in that scene. It's so like beautiful and all that type of stuff. We get introduced to Nymphadora Tonks and all that type of stuff. We also go to Grimmauld Place after that. I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth, but you have to bear with me, guys. There's a lot actually to talk about in this movie. Even though I don't want to make it such a long drawn out review like Hobbit, like those videos, but then again, that was scene by scene. This is the best scenes and like the most important scene. But the flying scene, I feel not many people talk about because it's just a flying scene, you know? It's not like a duel and thing like that. And I'll talk about the dueling stuff later, but really, they arrive at Grimmauld Place, and I love how Harry's just looking at Sirius, and he's just wanting to go in, and then Molly Weasley shuts the door behind him and all that. It's like, oh, really? And then finally gets a moment, and I love that he hugs him and all type of stuff. And from there, you know, this movie is really going to be about Harry and Sirius at times. And it is. They share great dramatic moments. Harry tells Sirius that he feels like a bad person. And Sirius like, you are not a bad person. You're a very good person. That bad things just happen to. And it's like, Sirius is so nice, you know. He's such a great character. Gary Oldman is fantastic in this movie. And pretty much in every movie I've seen him in, he's great. Whether Sirius Black, whether as freaking Commissioner Gordon, he's great. Even in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, he's amazing in that movie too. But really, he's great. Also, he was great as Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour. The guy's a great actor, man. He really is damn good. But anyway, guys, yeah. All that aside, he's playing Sirius Black, so you know that Sirius Black, you know, he can sometimes go a bit crazy at times. But in this movie, Sirius Black he's not unhinged. He's just normal. He's like, you know, very calm and all that. And it's great to see Lupin back into the story and Kingsley Shacklebolt and all type of stuff. And yeah, I really like how they introduced more characters, brought back other characters as well. It was great to see Lupin and Sirius in the same movie. It's like, hey, the squad is back from the Prisoner of Azkaban film. It's like, yes, it's great to see Lupin because Lupin wasn't even in the last film. And I like Lupin. No, besides Mad-Eye Moody, he's probably my second favorite Defense Against the Dark Arts cheater. The only one that I really like is Mad-Eye Moody. When I rewatched Goblet of Fire, I was like, hey, Mad-Eye Moody is actually very funny, if you know what I mean. In this movie, we have a totally opposite teacher that's not funny, that's not badass, that's just rude and so annoying, and makes kids cry. How dare you, Umbridge? How dare you indeed? So yeah, now obviously, we know that Hagrid, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hagrid barely shows up in this movie, only for a couple of scenes, like a scene, 2 or 3 scenes, and he's apparently hiding something. Dumbledore's secret weapon, as Hermione calls it. And it's apparently a giant called Grubby or Grob, if you know what I mean. And Hagrid is apparently related to this giant, and so when he says that line, you're like, oh, it's like, okay, it makes sense though. And he's like, he's the only family he's got left. And then I love how they beautifully cut. There's this one cut that's so well done, like this one edit that shows Harry, and then it fades to on the left side, and then it fades to James on the right side, and then it's like the mirror of Erised, Harry looking to the mirror when he's younger, and then Snape behind him, and then he cuts back to present day Harry. I love that little cut. That transition there was beautifully done. And speaking of Snape, now I haven't even talked about Snape yet. Snape in this movie is great. He does such a great job in this movie because his character is really important to learning a bit more about Harry's parents and all type of stuff, because Snape actually does this, what is it called? Occupancy lessons. I don't even know what it's called. These lessons to, as Snape calls, penetrate his Harry's mind and all that, so that the Dark Lord cannot enter his mind and all that. And Harry just cannot do it. And at one time, he fires back at Snape, and you see that Snape was being targeted by, guess who? Harry's dad, James Potter, as well as Sirius. It's like, oh, that cuts deep. That really cuts deep. And then that's why Snape hates his dad. He's like, your father was lazy, arrogant, and all that. It's not good. It's not good at all. But then you kind of understand why. He was bullied. Therefore, it adds a layer to the character we had not seen before. Order the Phoenix does that. We learn more about, Sirius. That Sirius kind of has a relationship to a bad guy. Bellatrix Lestrange, who, by the way, is one of the craziest, villainous, evil ladies I've seen on screen. She's just like, wow, crazy, mad, It's not good, guys. It's really not good at all. And Helena Bonham Carter does a great job. This is probably my favorite performance I've seen of her. And I've only seen of her in two movies, or well, not a lot, but anyway, yeah, she's great as this character. They do such a great job with her character. Now, you guys are probably wondering to know how I feel about the final battle. Well, the third act of this movie is great. I love the third act of this movie, guys. The third act is everything you want and so much more. It starts off so well also. I love how, Harry and his friends intersect on the bridge in Hogwarts, like outside Hogwarts. You know that bridge? You know exactly what bridge I'm talking about, guys. Yeah. And, he's like, I appreciate what you guys are doing for me, but thanks. And he's like, I can do this on my own, blah, 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 whatever, all that type of stuff. But then he's like, okay, he has to accept it. He's got his friends. His friends can do it. And by the way, speaking of friends, there's this one character I haven't even mentioned yet. And that character is Luna Lovegood. Luna Lovegood, guys. She is such a likable character. She's that quirky, weird girl that we all know in real life. And so many people, and I'm not kidding, so many people identify with Luna. People say that she's the best character, blah, 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 all that. And I agree with you. She's not one of my favorites. She's not the best character, but in terms of relatability, you could definitely identify with her. She's just, just nice to be around, all type of stuff. And in this movie, you can also kind of tell that Harry, develops a nice friendship with her. There's this one scene, she's, talking to, this dragon or this Thestral and all type of stuff. And then they fly on the Thestrals to London. And that scene is so cool. The music's also there. And I also love this one shot that David Yates done perfectly. That it, focuses on Harry and his friends running. And then it zooms in a bit to, not zooming like that, but, and then it, cuts to another shot with the trio running, and then it shows Harry running. It's those little things, those clever shots make it show okay, this is about Harry and his friends, but it's also about the trio, and it's also most importantly about Harry, and I love that. It's very well done. I love those little shots and transitions, the mirror shot. It's very well done. Those little things are done beautifully, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Also, yes, Bellatrix does escape from Azkaban. We all know this. Because Sirius did it, so Bellatrix has to do it. And people think that Sirius Black did it, but did he really do it? That's something I also want to know. I think it was just the Dementors and all that. Well, the Dementors are guarding Azkaban, so can't be them. But I feel it was Voldemort, Death Eaters and all that. But anyway, Azkaban, man. We get to see Azkaban a bit, and it's not a great place to be. It definitely is not a great place to be at all, guys. So yeah. Now, obviously, once they reach the place and all that, they're looking for the prophecy orb, and not prophecy orb, there's this room with all these prophecy orbs, and Harry is looking for Sirius because Harry sees that Sirius is being tortured by Voldemort. The same thing happened to Arthur Weasley, and Harry wants to go and find out where he is. So he goes there, he's not there. Neville says that he's found a prophecy orb that has Harry's name on it. Harry walks towards the orb. it says out the prophecy and all that. It's like one to vanquish the Dark Order protest and all that. For neither can we while the other survive. Blah 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 blah. Apparently, in the book, Snape heard half of the prophecy. He didn't know about the other prophecy, half of like neither one can live while the other survive. Blah blah blah. All that type of stuff. So yeah, it's not good because Harry at the end of the day, that means can only be killed by Voldemort, and Voldemort can only be killed by Harry. That's why Harry's deemed as the chosen one, not just because of the scar and all type of stuff. So yeah, and by the way, Lucius Malfoy and his friends show up, and it's like, wow, okay, this is crazy. And Neville gets so mad when he sees Bellatrix Lestrange. She's like, Neville Longbottom, is it? How's mom and dad? And you're like, oh, yikes, that wasn't something nice to say, wasn't it? You know, it really isn't. Like, it's like, what if a killer came up to you after many years later and said, how's your parents? And then it's like, and that killer actually killed your parents. Like, oh, snap. What should I do? Should I lash out? And Harry calms Neville down, and Lucius, I love how Lucius Malfoy, who's great in this scene, by the way, he's like, why don't we just all calm down? And it's, Lucius Malfoy is just great. All the characters are great in Harry Potter, except for Umbridge, though. Umbridge is that one character everyone hates. You know, Bellatrix is even better than Umbridge, you know? If you know what I mean. So yeah, but anyway, that scene is great. They have a bit of a fight in the room of the prophecy orbs, not room of requirement. Which, by the way, the room of requirement is discovered in this movie thanks to Neville. He discovered it. He was bullied a bit by Malfoy's friends. They're like, "Watch where you're going, Longbottom." Yeah, I couldn't even remember the lines in this movie. That's just weird. Anyway, it's also hilarious too. Whenever Harry's training, there's this cool cut. Like, they keep coming back and forth between Harry and his friends training, and then Filch and Malfoy and his friends running towards the room requirement. The doors kind of small, and then boom, they just fall down. It's like, it's hilarious. It's great. One time they even food poison him. It's like, Filch, it's so funny, man. It really, really is, and all that. But at the end of the day, the training sequence is cool. You guys know it. Everyone loves the training sequence, and when Neville does the Patronus for the first time, it's like this satisfaction. It's like, yes, Neville, man, that's awesome, and all that type of stuff. You can also tell that there is a hint in just one shot that Neville and Luna might actually be a thing. When Luna's like, well done, Neville, and then she just drags him away and they run off and all type of stuff. That's in the final battle, by the way. Now, going back to that final battle, it's great. It really is. So once they leave the prophecy orb room and all that, Ginny does this crazy ass spell, Reductor, boom. All the orbs start to fall down. They're running. It's very exciting. The music builds and builds. They go down this door and all the type of stuff. They're just about to like fall down completely, but Hermione saves them and all that. And then they land smoothly. And then they enter this place. This like air. I don't even know what it's called. And then they see like, what's this? What? There's a structure that I believe called the Veil. Is that what it is? I don't remember. But anyway, and only Harry and Luna can hear voices in that little like hole. This big like invisible like hole, not invisible hole. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, guys. That place, because they have experienced death, so only they can hear it and all type of stuff. And Hermione's like doubting Harry. It's like, why? Why are you doubting him? Hermione always doubts Harry at times. It's a bit funny, but anyway. And then the Death Eaters come and show up and all type of stuff. And then the badass scene. There's a badass moment when the Orders just show up randomly. It's like this ball of white flickers. You see Harry's like, oh, okay. And then Sirius comes and he's like, get away from my godson. And then boom, punches Jason Isaacs. Basically. No, it's he punches Jason Isaacs' character, which is Malfoy. It's really cool, badass and all that. The prophecy of boom, it explodes in just like brief fragments. It's just gone, you know, it's just gone basically and all that. And the Order come, they have this cool battle. It's really cool, really exciting. Harry and Sirius team up, fight Lucius and someone else. And then I love how Sirius calls Harry James. He's like, that's right, James. And then boom, Bellatrix appears, Avada Kedavra, Sirius is dead. It's like, what is happening? So much is happening. It's like boom, 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 boom. What is going on here? This is insane. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, it did. It does. It really does. Harry chases Bellatrix through the main area or central like hub area of the Ministry of Magic, and he does this like spell. It's like Crucio, and she like, she's a bit worried. She looks like she's gonna cry, and then you hear Voldemort at the back of his mind. He's like, you should use the spell, Harry. You know the spell. And then he appears. And then Bellatrix smiles. And then Harry, doesn't know what to do. Should he attack Bellatrix or should he attack Voldemort? Should he attack the one that killed his parents or should he attack the one that killed Sirius? It's like a deciding moment. And then, of course, he attacks Voldemort, but Voldemort knocks his one down. And Dumbledore. Oh my god. Dumbledore shows up like a badass. Michael Gambon, when he appears, it's like, this is like neck level epic stuff. This is like Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan. This is really cool, but instead there's a lot more movement. This is hands down, easily, one of the best fantasy fights I've ever seen in my entire life, including swords and all that. Actually, one-on-one fantasy fights. This might be one of the best ones. And I know Harry versus Voldemort in Goblet of Fire and in Death Wars Part 2 is great, but this fight alone, it's so epic. Voldemort versus Dumbledore, the two all-powerful wizards at that time dueling, and Harry's just there, embracing the moment. He hides. Bellatrix flees, he hides, he doesn't know what to do. In his mind, he's like, I just was serious. But at the same time, he's like, I gotta keep it together. I don't want to get hurt. And then the fight goes crazy. Voldemort is trapped in this last airbender type of ball. That was a little Easter egg, I know, by the way. But anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, he gets in there. It's crazy, guys. Voldemort summons this fire beast, and Dumbledore is badass, and Voldemort knows okay, maybe Dumbledore is more powerful than I thought it was, and then he gives up. And then just when you think it's over, Voldemort goes inside Harry, literally, as if that wasn't any worse, and makes his eyes turn Voldemort's color, and he's like, you've lost, old man. And it's oh my god, Voldemort, I hate you so much, man. I really, really, really hate you. This is bad. And then he's trying to tempt Harry to just be evil and all type of stuff. And then Harry literally breaks free. I love the moment. It's Harry's punching through this mirror and Voldemort escapes his body. But before that, Harry's talking to Voldemort, and Dumbledore knows he's talking to Voldemort. You as an audience member probably know that too. But I love how Harry's you're the weak one, and you'll never know love or friendship. And that's why I feel sorry for you. And exactly, Voldemort never feels anything. And then he just escapes his body like that. And then, just when you think Voldemort's gonna kill Harry or do something, Cornelius Fudge appears. He gets scared. Voldemort disappears. And then he says the one line, and you're finally, you idiot. You finally believe everyone. And then he's he's back. And you're yeah, no. Yeah, no shit. Basically, yeah. But anyway, this movie is so good, guys. This movie is better than Goblet of Fire, even though I'll probably give it the same grade. Only just because there are things about Order of the Phoenix that do feel it's more your stereotypical, not stereotypical Harry Potter movie, but it kind of felt the first couple movies were learning all this stuff. The training sequences were really cool and badass. It's a very fast-paced movie, but I would still give it the same grade, which is an 8 out of 10, only just because it doesn't have that excitement like the last two movies do. It doesn't have that character depth that those last two movies do. It doesn't have that crazy action that those last two movies do. But still, I love The Order of the Phoenix. This is maybe top 5 Harry Potter movies, maybe top 4, I don't know. But anyway, it's not as good as Prisoner of Azkaban, which I would also give the same grade to, but still, 8.3 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, maybe around it, but still, Order of Phoenix is a great film. Like I said, this is my go-to, this is my favorite franchise of all time. I love these movies, I love these characters, and yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about Order of the Phoenix, guys. I've talked about the third act enough, I feel like. And I know there's probably some moments that I haven't even talked about yet. No, I don't think there is any other moment that I've missed out. But anyway, Harry Potter The Order of Phoenix, it's a beautiful looking movie at times. The music's great, it's well directed, well acted. Daniel Radcliffe is amazing in this movie. So is Gary Oldman, Michael Gambon, the actress that plays Umbridge, Imelda Staunton, I believe. And Ralph Fiennes is obviously great. Helena Bonham Carter, Jason Isaacs. Everyone's great in this movie, but just those 5 or 6, 7 people alone make up this movie. And it's just amazing, guys. Of course, Luna Lovegood is also great and all that. But still, it's a really fun, fast-paced, exciting, action-packed Harry Potter movie that I really did enjoy. That I really do enjoy watching, guys. So yeah, so Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, that is it. We are done. 5 down, 3 more to go. Next month will be Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, guys. Yeah, we are done with Order of the Phoenix. Wow. Again, I don't know how long it is. You can check by the video. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.